Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey was released in 2009 on DS, and its remake, Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux, was released on 2017 on 3DS. I'm playing the remake, and this game also seems to be a highly acclaimed Megaten game, just like Devil Survivor. So I'm trying it out to see what it is all about. I wrote the script in tiny order, so you will get to see my entire thought process as I play through the game from start to finish. I will be getting only one ending among the 6 endings the game has, as I prefer to experience game with multiple endings that way. Also, I have put the subtitle in the video, so please turn on the caption if you don't understand my words or if it is unclear. Other than that, I am waiting monster and I have finally played Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux. Enjoy the video. The game opens up with some big wigs having what seems like a very important meeting. Then a news report comes on the screen talking about wars, about some guy found dead because of the overdose of drugs in Pleasure District, about how there has been an uptick in shootings and burglaries around the globe, and lastly, about the pollution reaching the point of no return. The news then got cut abruptly when the Union project officer tells everyone to pay attention to the screen and shows images from North Pole within Shibatu Bus. The images include War Zone, Pleasure District, shopping mall, and a place where disposal affairs and chemical waste exist. After that, the drone got destroyed by something, so these 4 images are the only information they have about what's inside Shibatu Bus. They managed to keep the public under control by giving them fake news for the moment, but things are not looking good if Shibatu Bus keeps expanding, so they decide to send out people to investigate Shibatu Bus. Goa is the commanding officer of all 4 ships, Red Sprite, Blue Jack, Gigantic, and Erebus, of which Serenity First Lieutenant is on. She is now here on Red Sprite to explain about Shibatu Bus. It is a phenomenon that appears out of nowhere in North Pole, and from there it starts consuming its surroundings and is expanding rapidly every day. If left too long, it might even consume the entire planet, so they need to take the mission seriously. Shibatu Bus consists of outer wall made of plasma, and it has a distorted dimension where no one knows what's awaits for them inside. From there, a robot called Asa will take over and explain about the ships they are on. These ships are equipped with plasma shields which will help them get through the plasma wall, and also equipped with boosters which can keep them airborne for some time. Their plan is going to be flying over the wall and dive into Shibatu Bus kind of strategy. After that, Goa will ask the protagonist's name, and I put Tadano Hidonari, which means just another dude. Hidonari is then assigned under Goa with mobile call. Then he tells all mobile call to come with him to the deck for briefing session. Here you can try to go to either the treatment room or the lab, but they are not open yet, so you can only go to the deck for now. There, Jimenez from Blue Jet will do the briefing. Jimenez explains how there will be more on-field investigation with this mission, so he suggests having somewhat knowledge about Demonica, a high-tech suit which is known to be the strongest weapon mankind has ever created. Right from the first day, he talks as if he is taking the mission lightly, so pissing off a lot of people. After the briefing session, no one seems to like it anymore, and Jimenez seems okay with it. Demonica stands for Demountable Next Integrated Capable Armor. I can see they are a bit overdoing with the abbreviation there, but nice try. Then the AI system installed inside the Demonica will ask you some questions. Answering them will affect your personality type and character stats growth too. I got the attack type, so most of my stat growth will focus on strength, vitality, and speed. Goa will then tell everyone to stand by and take breaks for the takeoff, as both Zerani and Jimenez return to their own ships. With that, each ship flying into the sky, putting up plasma sea and all, but before too long, each ship gets struck down by lightning and falls straight into the pitch black. And Raspberry is no exception. Although they are still airborne, it will be a matter of time their ship will fall down too, so everyone is freaking out. And surely Raspberry's turn comes, so Goa order everyone to brace for the impact, and shortly after that, everything turns white. Normally, Hidonari would be dead, but he arrived at some room where three omens are sitting and talking about how it could be interesting to let his souls return to his own body and see what future beholds for the world. And with that, Hidonari is brought back to life. But things are not looking too good inside the ship too. All the power inside the ships are down, and so is Asa. Goa will order Terry to reactivate power, but the call was cut short when some unseen things enter inside the ship and attacks them. Hidonari will then go check the deck and sees Terry is still alive and well. Terry asks Hidonari to stay guard for him while he tries to reactivate the power for the ship. Then other mobile core arrives too, and the unknown things from before returns back and attack the crew. At that moment, someone sent a program directly to all Demonica called Devil Summoning Program. Now they can see what's attacking them and fight them back. Here it is, our first fight in this game. You will have sword, gun, fire attacks to choose from right from the beginning. Basic stuff which I never get bored of. The first time you see Devil, they will be shown as unknown, but after the first fight, the devil image will appear, and as you fight more and more, its info will be filled up as shown by the analyze meter down here. After that, Goa will call the rest back to their control room. Asa is still down, so Goa tells Kato to make haste with his repair. Then Zoe from treatment room calls for help, so go clean those pesky little slime quick, then go back to control room. Another report comes in from other call that some people has been taken away by devils. So Goa gives the very first mission end to the mobile core and is to go save them. I sort of felt nervous when the game finally let me explore outside. All I know is the game is hard as hell, so I'm also a little bit intimidated by the game if I am being honest. But scared or not, here we are in our first sector, codename A, Antolia. I had trouble trying to get used to control like always. Exploring can feel slow depending on the previous games you have played before this. But the previous game for me was Devil Survivor Overclock, which has no exploring element in it, so I'm just glad to be crawling inside dungeons again. The encounter rate is pretty balanced by default, and the fights are quick and snappy. But for now, we will start talking as this little pixie wants to teach us about something important. Devil Negotiation. After you have played a couple of Megaton games, you should have a master degree in Devil Negotiation by now. Most Devil in this game talks like they talk in Devil Summoner and Soul Hacker, two of the games which I have played not too long ago, so I kinda remember how conversation flow, and it helps for the most part in the early game. After the tutorial, Pixie will join your team and tells you about another new mechanic called Devil Core. You actually need to take the alignment aka stance of Devil you recruit in this game. There is Law, which is shown in blue, Neutral, which is shown in white, and Chaos, which is shown in red. Your Devil Core damage will multiply if you have more same stance Devil every time you hit the weakness on any opponent. This mechanic is fun for gameplay loop as it will encourage you to recruit and fuse a lot of devils. New mechanic exists in game for a reason, so you need to make full use of it to get the best experience you can out of this game. About recruiting devils, you can only recruit neutral devils as light devils will never appear in random encounters and dark devil cannot be negotiated until a bit much later in the game. Oh yeah, I almost forgot what I am here for. It is to save the missing crew members. After that, Goa will summon you back to the control room. Back at the ship, Goa will praise Hitonari's hard work and proceed to have a moment of silence for the dead, which only lasts for 1 second as I press A button a bit too fast. Then Kato will report about the rescue signal coming from Jimenez from Blue Jet within Anatolia. So Goa will send a mobile call again to investigate it. But many crew members has been injured at the moment, leaving the mobile call short-handed. So Goa himself will be joining the expedition this time. Yay! With Arvin back and all, you can now restock some consumables at lab, but in this game you need to gather other stuff before you can even buy it. So you are quite limited to buying items in this game. That's where most grinding aspect of the game goes to. Still, you can make do with what you find in sector most of the time, so don't worry about it. And now with Goa and some explosives you got from Arvin, you can now access the ice wall that was blocked before. Right then, a devil with 2 tentacles and a horse attacks the crew and runs off. Even after Goa has seen how strong that devil was, he still insists they move on and save Jimenez, and so off they go further into the dungeon. Inside dungeons, you will find terminal and hit point. At terminal, you can save game or return back to the entrance of that dungeon. In Strange Journey Redux, you get a free save, which you can save whenever you want and wherever you are, together with in-game save. There is also possibility of soft-locking yourself in a very sticky situation, so just be sure to save often in terminals too. At hit points, you can heal in exchange for marker. If you keep relying on a hit point, you will never be able to save a marker. So I suggest letting your devils do the healing whenever you can, or return to the ship and heal there for free. After you reach the shipwreck site, Jimenez will appear and so does the devil from before. Goa will rescue Jimenez from him and fight the devil one-on-one. When he thought he beat the devil, it appears behind him and literally wounded Goa. And now it is all up to Hitonari to avenge Goa. I have Pixie, Noka and Angel in this fight, and this thing is weak to fire, so keep using it and devil co-oping and it will go down. Until the last breath, Goa keeps saying they are the future of humanity and that they need to complete their mission no matter what, then pass away. His corpse will be carried by Hitonari and Jimenez back to the ship to be kept inside, because he is their commanding chief I guess, which means the rest of the dead crew members are just left out there on the field to become food for the devils. Now that Asa is back online, it summons everyone to the control room. Just when Asa is about to give the next mission, Jimenez throws a tantrum because he wants escaping this place takes priority, rather than fulfilling the dead man's Goa's request. Asa tells him it is practically impossible to escape from Shibaru right now, especially with zero information they have. Asa calculates that the best course of action is for the mobile core to go and retrieve the engine from the Blue Jet, so that they can move their ship again. On Blue Jet, Jimenez and Hitonari hears a weak alert sound coming from the control room. There they see Verunu, another robot like Asa. Verunu says it has information of the dungeon and that Verunu wants them to take its control terminal to the Respite and analyze it, sacrificing itself to help others, I see. I'll be sure to bring back to Respite safe and sound, buddy. Don't worry. After you get back to Respite with the engine and Verunu's terminal, Arvin will contact Asa and tells Mobile Core to go search for substances called Foruma. There are 2 kinds of Foruma in this game. The red ones are used for main ability, which are needed for main story to advance. As there is main ability, there is also sub-ability, which provide quality of life upgrade for your gameplay. And there are other Forumas which are needed to buy items and equipment from Arvin. Now with engine being replaced, the ship is now able to use some low energy maneuvers, but to recharge the ship back to full, you will need to wait a bit more. So in the meantime, you need to go collect some Forumas inside Anatolia. Once you are back, go see Arvin inside the lab, and now you can open some doors you couldn't previously. Then, Asa will call everyone together in the control room for another briefing, as it has finished analyzing the terminal. According to Verunu, there is a way to escape from Anatolia, and it is to enter the quantum tunnel and climb to another layer. Although they are still unsure whether climbing layers means getting closer to the Earth's surface or getting farther away from the surface. But one thing for sure is that they are not ready to fly into the tunnel as of now. So Asa will give another mission to go investigate the energy reaction, which appears to be coming from the underground. And Valuno's contribution doesn't end there. Analyzing his data, Asa managed to create another program for the Demonica. It is Fusion program. And now they all can fuse two devils together to create a stronger devil. My favorite mechanic is finally here. Another cool thing they add to this game is you can now switch between the updated version of devils and original version of devils when you want to resummon them. And it is one big quality of life improvement. So as soon as I set a foot to underground, the first encounter there absolutely destroyed me and I got game over for the first time. The game will then show you the world getting consumed by Shibaru birds and send you straight back to the load screen. Okay, this game is hard. After that, I tried grinding before I entered that area again, but it doesn't sound like a nice plan. You barely get any experience point from devils once you reach a certain level cap, so I have no choice but to clench my teeth and re-enter again. All it takes is a few fights for you to jump 2-3 levels, so even if the fights are hard, you have no choice but to face these kinds of difficulty jumps head-on. Over-leveling also seems not an option in this game. I recommend getting Survival Pass for physical resist and Engine V for fire resist from Arvin. On your way towards finding the strong reaction, you will have to face 3 waves of devils. Wear Survival Pass in those fights, as Oni can dish out quite strong physical attacks. After that, immediately switch to Engine V for the boss fight ahead. The name is Morax. It says they came to have revenge on humans, and they think the best way to kill humans is to imitate humans, because they think humans are more evil than them for some reason. Devils are coming to the surface to kill those evil humans, so Morax asks Hitonari if he thinks devils are the one on the good side. Hitonari answers both devil and human are in wrong, so Morax got mad with the response, so the fight starts. For Morax, I prepared Peru, Sandman, and Lilium. All of them are chaos, so I am aiming for that juicy devil co-op attacks. But Morax's weakness is ice, and I haven't a single ice skill with any of my devils. So here I was thinking of making a perfect and clean boss fight, but now it turns into a one giant mess of a boss fight. Morax can inflict fear on your devils and make them all return back to Demonica the next time if they are left and healed. And so they did. And I didn't know the way to resummon them back to the fight by this time, so I was just left to fight with just one devil. After defeating Morax, it was said they came not by themselves but because humans caused them. It is an interesting sentence. Does that mean humans are finally a bad guy in SMT games? Back at the ship, after analyzing the Rosetta Hitonari got from defeating Morax, Asa will announce they now can pass through the quantum tunnel, and William explains how passing through the quantum tunnels works. Imagine a tunnel is oil and ship is water, in which case the ship cannot enter. But now they have figured out the way to use oil as a coating on a ship, so they can now pass through the oil tunnel, which they give the name to summarize the whole process as skip drive. Man, Japanese games sure love spitting terminologies like that, huh? Raspberry successfully landed in another sector. Based on the surrounding, this sector looks like the Pleasure District unlike the previous one, which was the war zone. As I gave this sector a code name B, Booties, and immediately gave Mobile Core a mission to go place survey beacons inside the sector. Also from analyzing the Rosetta, Demonica suits are now able to expand the devil stock from 9 to 12. And also extra points to the developers for the naming choice of this sector. This sector have damaging tiles which inflict 10% of your health. Although you cannot die from damaging tile, be mindful of your health so that you don't go into fight with 1 HP. It is here I start experimenting with Devil Source, another new mechanic in this game. It is spelled like this, but I prefer this, as it unironically makes more sense than the former. To back that up, There is even side ability called Devil Flavor and Squeezer. I bet the developer are well aware of the source I am talking about. So the devil source was like this. If your analyze meter on a devil reach max, it means devil source is ready. Then that devil will give you its devil source, which contains a skill set. Use it when you fuse devil if you want to inherit skills from that devil source. At least you are given tools to work with if you want to create a perfect devil with this mechanic. Although I don't plan on making any perfect devil anytime soon. There are also places where devil will give you an extra mission. You get rewarded for completing them, so be sure to check them out if you have time. So on this floor, you find these devil with clocks, whom will take you somewhere if you accept their request. Then you arrive at some distorted dimension to fight Yggdrasil. It will kill you, but something happens and you come back to life and defeat Yggdrasil. Devil and clocks will appear again and tell you they will meet again and disappear. Completing this extra mission rewards you with Yugudora ring, which can resist poison. After placing all survey beacons in designated locations, exit the room and some unknown woman appears and attacks Hidonari. She seems to also have robots like Asa assisting her, and she is also equipped with a Demonica suit. She severs his contact with the ship and one time kills everyone on the team, killing Hidonari in the process. Though a robot tells her Hidonari is as good as dead as he is already, she takes out a lightsaber and starts mincing Hidonari into chunks. Then Hidonari hears a glimpse of what they are saying. They seem to be talking about killing Jimenez and Serene. But what does it matter anyway now that he himself is dead? Also he thought, but turns out Hidonari is saved by Demetri from near-death state and brought him to what she calls the Griffin Worm. I thought this is the place where you can find levels or something, so I won't be using this bonus dungeon unless I feel like this place will become a story-relevant place or something of importance later in the game. So until then, farewell Demetri. If you exit the Griffin Worm, you will be sent out conveniently back to the ship. Jimenez seems very shocked to see Hidonari back to life again, as he has seen him got dismembered into pieces by that woman. Now with all beacons in place, Asa can now pinpoint the next quantum tunnel location. Then the ship catches the rescue signal coming from Erebus within this sector. I think it really is very dependable to have a robot in command in this type of environment. Asa always takes things into measure logically with sole intent to return to the surface. So all they need to do is follow his order and complete missions. So we are back again in the Buddhist to find the place where rescue signal is coming from. You will find another rare polymer as you explore, so go back to the lab and you can now see doors that are invisible. And with that, you can gain access to the middle part of this sector. Once you get there, an event will occur. Norris will go crazy, saying he wants to go to a place where he can have fun and runs away. So Asa will announce emergency to stop their current mission and go find Norris. If you go straight north from where the event occurs, you will get into Midra's Palace. Head to the third floor without much detours, as nothing of interest can be found among these floors except damaging ties. Then Hidonari will get attacked by an invisible devil and loses consciousness. Once he opens his eyes, he is in a cell together with Serene, who apparently was the one that sent the rescue signal. How convenient. She tells Hidonari how brave he is and thanks him for coming to save her. Then, when she knows he used Devil's summoning program to fight devils, she starts telling him to start doing that and stuff, because devils are dangerous. Then, when Hidonari gave her the program to protect herself from devils, she starts yelling and screaming and asks why does he has to use devil to fight of all things, and lecture you that they are dangerous and man, shut up and take it already. What is she? A saint? She is inside a place where death is imminent and she is now being picky and annoying. Now look, because of Serene making so much noise, the devil comes in and takes Hidonari away. But turns out their master wants to see him, so there he is in front of Mithras. Mithras is interested in humans and he thinks it is a waste of resource to kill off humans. Mithras asks Hidonari why does he think humans, which were once monkeys, are now so advanced that they now populate the entire world by themselves. Hidonari simply answers human evils. Then Mithras goes crazy over how he can no longer understand humans. He then comes back to sense after a while, then tells Hidonari to go back to the ship and asks whether they will join Mithras or choose to die. Hidonari tells Asa what happened, so Asa devises a plan to infiltrate the palace by dividing two teams. One is for diversion and another is for Hidonari, the one-man army's infiltration. His goal is to go in there alone and save Serene, while other will be outside the palace distracting devils. The first and third floor of palace will become completely devoid of devils because of the diversion team outside. So go directly to the fourth floor, and guess what? You will get attacked by the invisible devil again and get taken into the cell. There you will get to see Norris getting injected by some weird liquid. Hidonari sees Norris in pain, but he decides not to go near him as it might be dangerous. Norris then becomes a mutant thing and attacks him. For this fight, I have Azumi, Peru, and Lilian. I made Azumi inherit a gun skill called Fang Attack, which can lower the opponent's attack every time it hits. Norris don't have any weakness, so the fight is all about exchanging blows. With the Fang Attack lowering Norris' attack every turn, the fight becomes very one-sided as times go on. Poor Norris, rest in peace. After you go back to the room where Serene is, you get to meet with Mansamet, an angel. Mansamet will help them escape by punching a hole from 4th floor straight to the 1st floor. Now they can use the hole to escape from this palace. Mansamet tells both of them they will all meet again if they keep fighting devils like they do now, and flies away. When you try to leave the palace, you get attacked by Magabu. So I equipped the Yudora ring I got from the extra mission that can resist poison. All of your devils will be poisoned after the fight, so be sure to heal the nearby heal point. Don't underestimate poison damage in this game. Back at the ship, Asa was trying to press Serene with questions, but Serene seems to be very traumatized by all the events she had to go through back there, so Asa stops and tells her to go rest at the treatment room. But there is no rest for mobile call as usual. Asa will tell them to go defeat Mithras and obtain Rosetta from him. Then Asa will add a new program called Enemy Search, which now enables crew members to see invisible devils. Just you wait, you stupid invisible bastard, I'm coming straight for you. And there it is. On the 4th floor, the invisible devil attacks again, but this time, Hidonari used Enemy Search on it, and it turns out to be a devil called Formolia. It is weak to wind attack, so I made Subaruna and Moshobo, which both of them has good wind attacks, so it is an easy fight. Starting from 4th floor onward, most of the devils will have wind weakness, so prepare devils accordingly. You might think it is a waste of resource and time to make devils specifically for just one floor, but you need to understand that every floor counts, and everything will come around in the end. Nothing you do in this game is entirely pointless. Now you can use elevator and different parts of palace are now accessible. On the 4th floor, Jimenez will fight the devil trying to torture someone, so he decides to save it.
よっしゃ、もう大丈夫だぜ。出てこいよ。
Turns out that someone is a devilish baby-looking thing called Bagabu. Bagabu apparently is not a purely devil, which interests Jimenez, so he decided to make Bagabu his ally, and he succeeded. Before you go to fight with the boss, I recommend doing some extra missions. One is on the 1st floor, where you have to help your fellow crew members escape from being locked up. For every wrong decision you make, one of them will die. But don't worry, you will still get your reward in the end, even if all of them are dead. But still, it just don't feel right to have any of them die, so I try my best to keep everyone alive till the end, and I made it. At the end, you will have to fight with Margin David. It keeps inflicting fear on my team, so I keep having trouble doing any good damage to David. It is here I learned how to resummon devils from the stock to the active team. Good thing I landed here this early into the game, or else I couldn't even imagine what awaits for me in the future. But changing devils do not help winning this guy either. It becomes a waste of time, so I just decided to take on this guy one-on-one. If you complete this extra mission, you will now be able to fuse margin devils. Next extra mission I recommend doing is on 8th floor. This crow-looking devil will challenge you to a little match where you have to find and defeat as many tanuki as you can throughout this palace. Tanuki can be found by using enemy search. There is also a time limit, so you need to find those guys within one full cycle of full moon. There are a total of 9 tanukis, and if you complete this mission, you will be able to fuse Chinju devils. You will fight Mithras on 8th floor. He is weak to wind attack, so I have prepared Fortuna, Moshobo, and Karasu Tenku, which all of them are of same stances. So I am very ready to beat the crap out of Mithras. Mithras use strong ice attacks, so dish out those devil co-ops and don't even think about buff and debuff. Just try to end the fight quick. After the fight, grab the Rosetta and you will be back to the ship automatically. After the skip drive, Asa will give the sector codename C, Karina. The surroundings of this sector looks like a shopping mall. Then they will receive signal from another ship, which turns out to be Erebus. The ship's rating was on. But there has been no reply from the ship, so Asa gave mobile call a mission to go retrieve the telecommunication device from the ship. Doing so might actually make it possible for them to contact with the headquarters on the surface. Jimenez then summoned Bagabu inside the ship in joy, but Sereni does not like it, so they argue. Sereni wants to act like she's a saint, so once again, she wants to prioritize saving people on the ship than prioritizing the mission. Asa will tell both of them to stop making a scene and orders them to just do their jobs properly as a crew member on this ship. I'm liking the chemistry between these 3 characters so far. Before leaving the ship, talk to Dando and he will give you an extra mission where you have to defeat the Twilight God. It is this feat thing and it is weak to physical attacks. If you complete this extra mission, you will be able to make Hishin devils. In this sector, on the 1st floor, you will find Mansama in one of the rooms. You will ask how things are since the time in Pleasure District. Mansama says their god is well aware of the situation on the surface and want to help the humans. But for that to happen, the earth needs to be full of humans with good spirit, and whatever that means. Mansama then asks if Sereni is well and tells Hidonari he is very much looking forward to seeing her again. In the underground, you have to go through some dark zones. After you have wandered in the dark for a while, you will reach the room where the Spanish pig with a mustache resides. This pig is August. August somehow managed to fuel with Eruba's ship and coat itself with plasmashi. August keeps sucking stuff into his mouth, and after a while, Bagabu gets sucked into August. Jimenez panics for a moment, but then he realizes it is impossible to fight that pig. They decide to back off for now. So when no one's to turn to call for help, Hidonari goes back to see Mansama again. Mansama says he knows how to beat August, but now with it fusing with the iron ship, he is not so sure if his power will work on August now. But Mansama has an idea and asks if Hidonari will join hands with him to take down August. Hidonari has no choice, so he answers yes. So Mansama will tell him to make 1 Megami Devil and 1 Yoju Devil and bring them back to him. After you have the requirements, Zelene will also join the conversation as she was also near the room where she was serving in the dungeon. Mansama is overjoyed to see her again. Then he will tell both of them to close their eyes, as what he is going to do cannot be allowed to see by any humans, or else a disaster will befall unto the seer. I'm pretty sure he swallowed 2 devils and throws up after merging them inside, leaving a residue as a crystal. That's not really something an angel would do now, is it? He will then give the crystal to Hidonari and leave the rest to the humans' technologies to find ways to defeat August. Mesame then gives Serene an angel for her to summon before she leaves, as she just won't not shut up about not wanting to summon devils. Go back to the ship and visit the lab, and you will get an August buster, and now you can shoot August with it. Let's go meet with the pig once again. After you shoot the pig once, Mesame will appear and praise how capable humans are, and order Hidonari to shoot the pig one more time. But Jimenez interrupts and says he wants to take down the pig by himself to avenge for Bagabu. But August blows Jimenez away and escapes. Mesame clowns out Jimenez for messing up and flies away. Luckily, Serene will report that August has been sighted nearby, so go there and shoot. Then go up to the second floor and shoot again, and go to the room beside to shoot the pig for the final time. August will drop the ship as he can't handle the pain anymore and runs away. Backup crew will arrive later to check the destroyed ship, only to find out there is no survivor left on the ship. Jimenez and Hidonari goes inside the ship to pick up the telecom device when Jimenez sees the shiny thing nearby. That shiny thing is Bagabu's devil source. Jimenez rejoices at the thought that if he visits the lab, he might even be able to revive Bagabu again. This man must love Bagabu a lot. Back at the ship, with the retrieval of telecom device, they can now contact with people from the surface, though the contact will only last for 10 minutes. At first, I thought the game was going to do the stalling thing where something happens before they say something of great importance, but this time, the game actually gives some useful info for once, and that is, Shibarubas is now even bigger than before, and devils are now invading the surface. The headquarters is apparently busy trying to fend off the devils so they can provide backup to the surviving crew members inside Shibarubas, but they can still send their location to the ship to help them pinpoint the surface location. Now they can actually maneuver Raspberry where they want to go, even when entering quantum tunnels. Serene and Asa explain how that might work, but
意味がわかるか
yeah, I don't understand too, bro. Asa lets the mobile call rest while they try to pinpoint August's location. While Hidonari is going back to his room, he has to pass through the hall. And then suddenly all lights turns off and a woman appears. Her name is Rui Saifa. This game also seems to have its own version of Rui Saifa. She then tells Chibarubas it's humanity's fate that they have to face nonetheless, and there is no escaping. But at least humans can choose whether they will follow the law route or the chaos route. After that, she detects someone approaching, so she walks through Hidonari, then disappears into the thin air, leaving the sensation of her wrapping around Hidonari's body. Just when Hidonari thought he can finally rest in this room, emergency alert comes in. It is August attacking the ship, seemingly trying to fuse with the ship just like Erebus. But under Asa's command, Raspberry managed to blast away August by releasing the plasma shield to 400%, damaging the pig badly. And now it is all up to the mobile core to pursue the pig once and for all. Climb the stair near the entrance. There you will find August injured. August will escape into the hidden room, but it will drop one of his claws. So bring that back to the lab, and now you can also enter those hidden rooms. Most devils will be weak to Hama and Mudo skills from second floors onward. Here, I start trying to recruit all devils I can because my Maga is running low pretty fast with fusing and resummonings. You need to keep scaling with the game constantly or else you are just gonna get left behind and the game will get unnecessarily frustrating and difficult. When you are trying to pursue the pig somewhere on the third floor, you will meet with the crazy woman from before again. We get to know her robot is called Joji and her name is Alex. Hidonari tries to contact his crew, but Joji will intercept the communication again and he has to fight Alex all alone again.
二度と蘇らせない。心臓で足りないなら脳を潰す。それでも足りないなら焼き尽くす。簡単に死ねると思うな。
I was pretty much wetting my pants when I have to fight again. Man, I just have to wonder what Hidonari has ever done to deserve this much hate from her. The fight itself is rigged, so you can't win. Let her defeat the entire team and wait until your Demonica AI detects the control point nearby. There, choose yes and you will escape from her using the hidden room. Now that I have escaped from death once again, all that's left is to get rid of that pig. August uses physical attacks and is weak to fire and electric attacks. So I have Facha that have Agiraon, a strong fire attack, Phoenix with fire breath attack, and Doppelganger which can reflect physical attacks. I'm just using Doppelganger as a meat sheet, so I didn't really inherit any skills to him. I don't know why August is shown in a regular sized devil, unlike the previous two bosses. I don't feel the menace with the bosses at all if it is not big. But there is one fun gimmick if you want to try. August will summon another pig if its health goes down to a certain threshold. You can beat the pig with a hammer on quick, or you can inflict poison on the pig and let August suck it, so that instead of August gaining health, it will poison itself. But for me, I want to end the boss fight quick, so I will just spamming strong attacks again and again. It is never a good idea to prolong any fights, especially with the bosses. Return back to the ship with yet another Rosetta in hand and wait for the skid drive. As I will give the 4th sector codename D to finals. Survey Corps will send a photo, and this sector looks like a pile of trash sheet full of chemical waste. They are definitely going to need Demonica to traverse this time. Asa then tells Mobile Corps to go search for another Rosetta, but then a report from the treatment room comes in, and it appears one of their corpses went missing. It better not be Goa, I swear. And yeah, it's Goa corpse that went missing. I believe Goa walks off from the ship by himself some way, somehow. Finding Goa and Rosetta is important and all, but I still have to figure out how to organize my inventory. It is full of stuff that I have no idea about at the first glance, but there is a way to navigate through this. For example, if you get the Foruma from Buddhist, it will be called Budai. That naming system actually made it possible for me to navigate through the inventory in this otherwise endless zero walls, which in my case it is all in kanji, which makes it even harder for me to navigate. Not that I am in a place to complain since I am chose to play the game in Japanese in the first place, but I need to learn Japanese fast if I want to play other Japanese games in the future, so better do that now than later. Then I checked the items you require to make swords, guns, suits and accessories, and found that each set of items are divided by each sector, and so are the items required to make them. Meaning, all of those draw items you got from the previous sector are all useless once you get to the next sector. So the best way I can think of that earns gold marker is by selling items. It actually works since I got like 40k marker from managing my inventory. It's good to know that the game rewards you for managing your inventory. My advice is to sell draw items and not assist forumas like blue dice, because to get them you need to go around the sector and search from them, and like draw item which you can just pick a location and find the devils there. For this sector, I made a gun called Blaster B, which gave me one AoE fire attack and another skill that can lower enemies' attack. Most devils here are weak to fire, so I have Facha with Agiraon and other devils from previous sector, and I'm doing fine. So now all I have to do is focus on missions there. This time Hitonari has to do the mission together with Sereni and Jimenez. After a while, Hitonari will find some of his crew members going crazy, which by now it is not surprising anymore for him, so he decides to ignore them and head to the next floor. I made Takemi Nakata with Phoenix Soul so that I can inherit Maharagion. I thought his magic stat was decent and thought it could help me clear fights quicker, but I was wrong. His physical was strong and his magic was weak for some reason, even though they have little difference in numbers. Isn't magic stat supposed to show how strong his magic attacks are? If you waste your swords on round devil like me, you need to do a little bit of work to get that sword working again. It appears the devil that had squeezed out his sword once will not squeeze another sword anymore. That was back in the original anyways. But in this version, there is an ability called Devil Squeezer, which will add a small percentage of actually squeezing out another sword again every time it's level up. But I can't make that set ability right now, so another Maharagion has to wait. I also made Nue because it looks big and cute. It also has a skill which can lower opponent's defense by 2, so I am hoping to make good use of him throughout this setup. On the second floor, you will have to help Zereni because she doesn't think she can fight 4 devils with just 1 devil she got from Mansion Map, which I think it was fair, so I helped her. My Takemi Nakata has an attack which inflicts more damage if I use it on a new moon phase. that, and there is also another attack that can inflict more damage on full moon phase. Those two attacks are the strongest physical attacks in the game if they are used on the right moon phase. Serenity is with Hitonari to help him find the location of Rosetta, but so far there has been no luck at all. So they go to the third floor. There Serenity thought of a new idea which might or might not work, and turns out it doesn't work. Then they hear Jimenez screaming, so they decide to go check what all the festival is all about. Jimenez is indeed going crazy. 1 minute he returns to normal and tells Hitonari, Serenity and Bakabu not to come near him, and 1 minute he turns back to crazy and screams he wants to kill all of them. Then Asa contacts both crews to return back to ship immediately, so they have to leave Jimenez alone for now. Back on the ship, Asa explains that strange disease has been spreading inside this sector, causing the crew members to kill each other. So Asa orders to refrain from any physical contact with an infected crew member on the field until they find a cure. Then Asawa gives mission to Mobile Corps to find cure for this strange disease. Serenity and Hitonari remember something similar happened back at Mithra's palace, so both of them decide to go check booties again in hope of finding something. And there at the entrance, they meet with Mansama. He talks about how he's not quite fond of science as it is not something bestowed by the god's wisdom. So he sees science as black magic that devil use. After giving blessing to both of them, he flies away, climbing all the way to the 8th floor by using the elevator as a shortcut. And now with newly acquired ability from Mansama, you can now open even more doors. There Serenity and Hitonari will search around and find a formula, to which Mansama confirmed that is the formula they need in order to cure the strange illness. This guy is honestly creeping me out. Also, why does it sound like Mansama is crashing into a glass ceiling whenever he flies away?
では、私はこれで。
Now with that formula, you can make an item that Asa wants you to make, called MK Healing Machine. Arvin explains MK stands for Mind Control, so you mean it's spelled like this then. It is basically a gun that shoots out plasma and shock people and reset their crazy meter to 0, essentially brainwashing them. And it actually works, so Mobile Corps can go inside the sector to go help their fellow comrades. Now with the gun, go inside the sector and shoot the infected crew members. The one on the first floor will give you a password to summon devil. You can check what the password is in the item menu. Put the correct password in and you get a free devil. It is Miyaguchi-sama, and it is a bit over level, so I can use it for now. Go around and shoot people, and after that, shoot Jimenez. Bakabu will think they are trying to hurt Jimenez, so it will defend him. Serenity suggests to shoot both of them, so Hitonari did, and Jimenez is back to normal. I really thought Jimenez and Serenity are going to have a fight there since she hurt Bakabu, but no, Jimenez says he wants to rest and take the injured Bakabu with him to the ship. Now we can continue with our mission to find Rosetta. I find myself going in and out of this sector a lot. There is only one hit point in the entire sector, and it is on the 8th floor. Devils in Deru Finance are weak to various attacks, so I just decided to rely on physical attackers. You will need to find Rosetta's signal within the sector and fight a pair of balls. These balls change their weakness every time, starting from fire, ice, electric, then fire again. You will have a total of 4 fights with these balls. If you go to the 3rd floor, you will meet with Goa, who is now possessed by something and now donned in a black suit. He is not happy with how his mama is harmed by humans. Goa will then attack Hitonari as his mama wants him dead, but Goa thinks Hitonari is not that bad right now, so he spared his life. Goa then foresees something made of iron bringing a disaster, so he panics and leaves. By using enemy search, you can fight with red devils like White Rider. I tried to beat this guy, but it was way too hard and over level, and it's not even boss. I barely managed to beat it in the end and got a ton of EXP. It seems like you get more EXP if you go solo. I went from level 33 to 37 in a single fight, and now I have tons of devils to pick and choose from. I messed around with devil summonings for quite a good chunk of time, and finally decided to make Rakshasa with a very strong physical attack, Sekyukai for debuff, and Sandy as I'm lacking devils in healing department. Sandy too have a good stat in magic, so I can use it for magical damage dealer too. After fighting the boss 4 times, you can now fight the boss. It is Asura. He is weak to ice and can reflect fire and wind attack, but that's not the issue. The thing is, this fight sucks, because it is a lag-based boss fight. See, Asura can use an attack that can turn your whole team into mass status, which can be cured by items, but your protagonist is the only one who can use the item, so if he goes mad, you are better off resetting the fight. For the first turn, Asura will always start with the attack, so set everyone to guard in the first turn, lowering the chance of turning the whole team to mass status right from the get-go. I lost 2 times to this guy, so on the 3rd time, I decided to put Sandy on the team. Sandy has a low strength stat, so even if it goes mad, it will damage its ally that much. And this time, I won the fight with no much of a trouble, although it comes down to luck in the end, even if your team composition is good. So just keep trying until you win. Looking back at everything I have done in this sector, I have come to the conclusion that this sector was boring, both gameplay-wise and story-wise. The entire gimmick of this sector is to find the signal and fight the boss. Rinse and repeat and you fight the boss. And that strange disease thing, that was also a very boring mission to do. And the only good thing is, those 2 missions were short. Now back at the ship, Asa will contact the headquarters and report. Headquarters says they have a plan to erase Shibaru bus, and it is by bombing with nuclear weapons, which means they have decided to do it even if it meant killing people who they have sent inside to investigate. At least they thank the crew member for giving them useful infos, and now that they have no use anymore, they plan to erase them together with Shibaru bus. The headquarters wish good luck with explaining Shibaru bus before they nuke and ends the call. Hitonari and the rest really are in a situation where they only have themselves. Now, the crew members don't have much of a choice but to escape from Shibaru bus first. Asa says the next sector is going to be the last as it has a vanishing point, which is like an exit to the surface. After the skip drives, Asa gives the sector codename E Eridanus and tells the mobile core to prioritize finding the vanishing point. The surrounding looks like some kind of garden. These are places that has not yet been discovered, unlike the previous sector, all of which represents the evil doings of humans. I don't know if this place is where those 3 old men live or not, but it just gives me the vibe. Although I have to say, I feel like something really bad is going to happen in this sector. Before you enter the sector, I recommend doing the extra mission from this pixie from Antolia. It consists of fusing Yose devils that she tells you to fuse and give it to her. It is not that complex. Do that, and after you complete the 4th extra mission, you will get a Foruma, which can be made into sub-ability that can greatly reduce the chance of paralyzed and sleep-inflicting ties. Trust me, go do the extra mission if you haven't, because it will greatly help you traverse Eridanus, which is a huge teleporter made with tons of sleep ties and damaging ties. While all that is happening, you also have to look out for any hidden doors and hidden rooms. I did not have a good time with this sector at all. I got lost in the maze countless times and returned back to the ship a lot, because this sector also only have a single hit point. Throughout the sector, I didn't even have a solid team that I can consistently use. I had to keep a balanced team of heat physical magic while also fusing stronger and newer devils as I level up. All of my neurons are firing the entire time while I was in this sector. So for devils, I got Rakshasa, who is now a solid physical damage dealer, and switching Dominion and Vivian for magic damage depending on fights. Sandy stay here as a healer, and finally Michakuji-sama for debuffing. These are 5 devils I use throughout the sector. It is not a clearly executed team, but I'm just glad I get to use devils I like. While you are scrambling around the sector, you will find Jimenez sleeping on a sleep tie, so I give him a few gold kick to the face and wakes him up. Somehow, I found it very enlightening to kick Jimenez. First of all, you will have to find a Foruma that will let you make a main ability, so that you can search better Foruma. Making that is important because you won't be able to progress without it. Then you have to find a teleportation device that looks like this. If you find it, Serene will tell you to do something that can activate the device. You will find the Foruma needed for the device in the hidden room. That's where better Foruma search is needed. Now give it back to Serene and the device will teleport you to another side. It is a maze again, but at least you will know you are on a correct path if there is a terminal nearby. All that's left now is to ride the elevator to the topmost floor and walk straight to the vanishing point. But the way is blocked by something and Hidonari can't proceed any further. Then Asa will tell everyone to return back to the ship post-haste. Now that's very disappointing. It makes me feel like a kid who has to return home earlier from my friend's birthday party because I have a tutor waiting for me back at my home. Back at the ship, Asa will postpone the current mission of finding the vanishing point as they currently have no means to get to it, and instead, Asa tells the crew members to prioritize investigate the signal coming from an unknown fleet at Sector Carina. Many people are upset, of course, especially Jimenez. He looks so disappointed that I was worried he might just pull the plug from Asa and throws it out of the ship. Backtrack to Carina and investigate the signal. You will find a ship that looks like a Raspberry, but this ship is called Lightning. Then someone from the ship contacts via Demonica suit and tells the ship to send only representative and discuss the matters inside. The man is Captain Jet. According to him, their ship is sent from a private company from the surface into Shibarubas to search for wealth, unlike Raspberry who came here to save the world. But he thinks they can help each other out as both of them wants to escape from this place. Jimenez asks what the condition is, so Jack says Raspberry will help them with their photo massage and in return, they will provide assistance in investigation of vanishing point. But just they want to test whether our photo massage is good enough, so they give out an assignment to go and collect 3 photo masks at Eridanus of all places. After they are outside the ship, Jimenez contacts Asa and report about the negotiation. Asa thinks it is better for them to get any help they can as they are in disadvantage when it comes to ships. Raspberry is made for surveying while Lightning is made for fighting. So it's a wise decision not to mess with Lightning for now. Asa suggests mobile call to do as they say for the time being. I don't know man, they obviously don't look like good guys to me. Now to collect those 3 photomas, you have to return back to Eridanus and search inside the teleporter maze. I get to fight with Red Rider from enemy search. It is very strong, but I was close to defeating it on the first time. You get tons of EXP by defeating this guy, so now it's time for me to do some more devil summonings again. First is Kuro. I made her as my main healer, and every time I look at whatever she seems to be holding, it always makes me think there is a head on my screen. Next is Kikuri Hime. I like the design in this game, but I prefer the one from Devil Survivor. She has a whooping 37 poison magic, so she is my main damage dealer. And finally Genbu for physical damage dealer. After you have collected them, return back to Lightning and give them to Jack. He will also ask you to send them your latest for the massage program, and Ryan will give back the upgraded one when you meet their crew on the highest floor of Eridanus. With that, you can now open the door to the boss room. It is Uroboros, who Goa referred to it as his mama. I thought his mama would play a very big part in choosing sides later in the game, but no, you need to defeat Uroboros in order to enter the vanishing point, so you need to defeat it here. Just gonna say it right here, this part is very hard. Uroboros is weak to fire and is resistant to physical attacks. I start by preparing a gun Randall S that can shoot medium fire damage and a suit that can resist physical damage. Uroboros can dish out strong physical and electric attacks. Mahama, attack that can reset its debuff and our buff, and an attack that can inflict random status element on everyone. Get a set ability called Braveheart, and it will let you use command skill that will protect you from all status elements for 3 times. You won't know when those attacks will come, so you will have to use your intuition to counter those attacks. For my team, I have Torok and Rakshasa as my main fire damage dealers. I can't rely on physical damage anymore, so I have to aim for those devil co-ops as much as I can. And then Kiguri Hime as a support. Uroboros hit 160 damage per turn, so you need to out-damage it too. Let's keep chipping away with devil co-ops and you will defeat it in the end. Also, I thought Uroboros revived back, so Asa ordered you to retreat from the room. Uroboros seem to have revived from energy sent from devils scattered throughout this floor, so you need to go around and defeat them first in order to weaken Uroboros. Which is a very meaningless thing to say, especially to this boss in particular, because the game will just give you a second phase boss fight if you do that. The second round is even harder than the first one. It does not heal itself every time, but except from that, everything gets more stronger. And to make things much worse, My protagonist changed his stance to chaos after the dialogue choice, so there goes my devil core. So I quickly need to readjust my team composition, and luckily I can make some go chaos devil with my current level. So I made Asura, whoever go fire attack that can hit multiple times, Legacy as a support, and I made Ameno Futotama inherit a skill from Vivian's source called Rasta Candy, which boosts all allies step by 1, so use that skill 4 times and his job is done. Uroboros will definitely use the buff and debuff resetting attack, but at least I will be able to greatly damage Uroboros before that. After defeating all devils, I managed to level it up a bit, which allowed me to make Baru, who also have a fire attack Agidai, a very strong fire attack. Now I feel very much ready to face Uroboros again. My starting team is Legacy's Baru and Asura. After I made Legacy's lower Uroboros defense to 4, I switched it back to Ameno Futotama to boost all of our stats to 4. And just when I was about to pummel Asura down to victory, this happens. I thought the game is going to punish me again for being greedy, but I can't let that happen now, so I came in clutch when I have to summon Kuro in this situation to revive my teammates. But I don't have any free turns to summon them again, as my protagonist dies in 2 hits from Uroboros, so I had to go solo right near the end. After Uroboros is defeated, Goa will appear and grieve for his mama. He then walks away aimlessly as he don't know anymore what he should do and where to go after his mama is gone. But setting aside, we are going back to the surface, so let's get going. I was getting goosebumps when they finally go inside the vanishing point, and I really thought the late game would take place on the surface, but the ship got under attack by something along the way and got shot down, fading the screen into whiteness. Then we see the 3 old men sitting inside the room just like back at the start of the game. They tell Hidonari to see Memu Aref and shows the vision of Shibaru bus getting look on the surface right now. But Shibaru bus is not disappearing at all. The headquarters plan failed. But more importantly, those guys from the surface trying to nuke Shibaru bus when we are still inside it. I genuinely felt angry when this happened. This alone made me not want to save humanity, you know. When everyone comes back to sense, they realize everyone on the ship had the same vision from the 3 old men. Then they look outside and see their ship crash landed on yet another unknown place. Asa then comes online after a while and explains their direction has been affected by the exotic item they got from defeating Uroboros. When they ask how Asa knows all of this, Asa answers he got the information from those 3 old men, shocking everyone on the ship. They were on a whole argument of trusting Asa, who is giving out missions based on what the devils tell him to do. Even Asa had to give an option of entirely ignoring this mission of investigating the next exotic items if the crew do not want to. Everyone ponders for some time, then one after another starts agreeing to take the mission. So Asa gives the mission to Mobile Call like always and gives this set a codename F, Fortu next. I stopped trying to think too hard about team composition. Trying to get a team full of devil that can hit weakness and all stances are hard to get by. If you can do that, that's for the best. But you can also get through most part of the floor by going physical at this point of the game. So for my physical team, I'm going with King Goof, White Rider and Seiryu. All of them have decent AoE physical attacks. On the first floor, you will get to meet again with the old enemy, Morax. But then it will change into what it calls as the true form. It becomes Morok and talks about how his mother gave birth and bring it back to life again. Isn't Uroboros every devil's mother, or is there another entity that I have not faced yet? Either way, we have to defeat Morok. It is free to ice, and I need a proper team to deal with this boss. Devils I can make at my current level cannot use any ice attack, so I had to grind a bit to level up. Then I made Sarasvati and Digarabia. I put Kinga on my team to add more damage to Devil Core, as my protagonist is going to be useless for the rest of the fight. Just be sure to equip suit that can resist fire damage. My protagonists have high stat in strength, so he can still withstand Morok's physical attacks 2 to 3 turns. After Morok is defeated, you will hear Mithras, August, and Asura's voice all together, telling you about their mother Tiamat, who gave birth to them again in order to have revenge on him. These 3 devils like Morok can change into their true form here inside Forunex. Then Lucifer will also appear again and tell you this sector is a place of significance for devils as well as for Shivaruba's origin. She says she will be watching over Hidonari and disappears. Your next mission is to defeat those 3 devils, so I'm guessing this sector will be a boss rush level. You can choose either left or right, but not the middle door yet. Left is Mithras and right is August. Orus, the true form of August, is weak to fire and electric attacks, both of which I have right now, so I chose to fight Orus first. My plan is to let the protagonist resist physical and gun down Orus with medium fire attacks. White Raider will use Rasta Candy and Kingu will debuff. I didn't even let Orus breathe even for a moment and burn it down to ashes. Then collect Red Foruma and Asas will contact you to return back to the ship. Asa detects something suspicious going on with Lightning, so he wants the mobile call to go investigate them. Jimenez and Hidonari will get turned away right at the entrance by Ryan, so they will have to return back to ship without any further negotiations. Jimenez says he is interested in what is going on behind those closed doors, so when he got back to the ship, he proposed his plan to let him keep an eye on Lightning by himself and the rest of the crew to continue investigating Forunex. Everyone hesitated for a moment, but they all agree in the end. After Raspberry left Jimenez at Lightning hideout, they goes back to Forunex to continue their mission. I have defeated Orus on the right, so now I need to defeat Mithras on the left. Mithras, who is now a true form of Mithras, is weak to wind attacks, so I prepare Oberon and Athropos, both of which can use Garundai. I also grind Forumas and managed to make a gun that can fire wind attack. I start off with White Rider, Rasta Candy, and Dakarabia Yokai Plus to turn Mithras into a paper. Then I change to Oberon and Athropos to slash Mithras with relentless wind attacks. Now with Mithras defeated, grab the rare Foruma and Asa will contact you to return back to the ship again. Jimenez is now captured by Lightning as he was set to destroy part of Jack's research facility and release the devils. Jack says their no violence agreement has now just been severed because of Jimenez. Then they cut the communication. Asa also have to give the option this time to whether the crew want to prioritize saving Jimenez or wants to continue investigating Forunex. Many crew members think whether they want to save Jimenez or not. If they leave Lightning alone, they will get attacked by Lightning sooner or later, so they all agree to take on Lightning themselves. Devils that appear inside Jack's research facility are garbage and a waste of time, so I speedrun the entire place. Then you find Jimenez and Bagabu locked inside the tanks and they are about to get fused into a single entity. This apparently is what Lightning has been researching all along in secret, human experiments with devils. But their fusion will fail and they will die if the fusion is made by the machine here inside this facility. So Jimenez begs Hidonari to help him connect to his Demonica to have a successful fusion at the very least. I don't want him to die, so I had to make a hard choice, and I connect it to his Demonica. And so Jimenez is reborn into a devil man, but he still retains his consciousness as well as his memories. But he is seething anger and wants to kill everybody inside this hideout. And Jimenez tears down the giant ironclad door with his bare hands and meets Jack. Defeating Jack is easy, but Jimenez tries to kill Jack, so Hidonari tries to stop Jimenez from going so far. But it can't be stopped. Jimenez throws Hidonari away and punches through Jack's body with his hand. Ryan arrives and sees his captain dead, so he quickly turns to Lapdog and begs for his life, kneeling and groveling. When Jimenez tries to kill Ryan too, Zerene arrives in time and stops him. Thanks to Zerene, Lightning was left with some survivors. Back at the ship, Asa asks the survivor to work for their ship and lend them their technology. Jimenez went ahead and take medication, while the rest discussed how to handle Jimenez now that he had become a devil man. Some people think Jimenez should no longer be put on missions, while some thinks Jimenez could be a great help with the investigations. Basically, except from mobile call, everyone thinks Jimenez is dangerous. I never like those guys staying inside the ship all safe and sound, while mobile call are dying out there on the field one after another with every mission. I don't think their opinion even matter to the slightest in this case. More so because they still talks bad about Jimenez even after he volunteered to stay back at the facility to investigate lightning movement, putting his life on risk. Back to the foreigners, all I need to do now is to put an end to this mission. Only one more boss remains and we are done. Asura, or who is now? Ashida. But like, what is this devil design? It looks hot and all, but I have to say the haircut around the corner of this PNG bothers me a lot. I would care to see a handsome face. Anyway, Ashida is weak to ice, so I made a protagonist equipped with ice can. I made Loki equipped with Mahabufu Dai, Dagarabia for Yokai Bless, and White Rider for Rasta Gandhi. Right from the first turn, use Braveheart to protect allies from mass status for 3 turns, which Ashira will use just like when it was Asura. Use buff and debuff and keep stacking Devil Core, and Ashira will go down eventually. Then Demonica will say there is a huge energy radiating from the underground, so there seems to be one last boss we need to take down, and it is Tiamat. Tiamat refers to devils as seed that has been sown inside the ground and explains that they take negative energy that humans emit and use them to grow, until they grow too many and powerful that this entire Shibaruba's things appear in the North Pole. So that's why every devil says all of this started because of human. Now it's like devils are the victim in this game and humans are evil. Then what about angels? They have been lying low for this entire time, and I know little to nothing about them at all, except from Mansamet. Tiamat is weak to electric, and I for my life can't just find the formula it requires to be made into an electric gun, so I had to rely on my devils for this boss fight. Starting off with Dagarabia, Loki and White Rider like before, she have ways to buff herself, but there is nothing to debuff us. So in this fight, you can safely buff by using Rasta Gandhi. Trying to debuff her too much, and she will use a skill which heals her from 1100 HP and clear all debuff. After that, I switch to Midas and Loki and focus fire electric attacks on Tiamat, while Sarasvati keeps healing every time. Her ice attacks are useless on all of my devils, so all I need to do is keep attacking until she goes down. Then Goa appears again, still wandering around aimlessly. See, I'm still unsure of why Goa was brought back to life in the first place. What makes Uroboros revive him? This Goa reviving back thing just came out of the left field. After returning back to the Respite, the ship used exotic item Hidonari got from defeating Tiamat and used it to skip drive yet to another sector. Everyone seems to be in good spirit when Asa told them they are getting closer to where Memu Artifice, and defeating whatever that thing is could be the way for them to get rid of Shibarubas for good. There are also some who think they will die inside here if Shibarubas disappear, but they all know there is nothing for them to do other than moving forward and doing missions. Asa says Jimenez is in stable condition now, so he will be doing missions on the field together again with mobile call, just like good old days. This sector looks just like the previous sector, but somewhat different. It appears this whole sector is a mirage and very unstable. I realized I am in late game dungeon when I had to fight devils that resist the physical attacks. Took me some time to figure out the pattern on devils that appear and found out most devils are weak to ice, electric, hammer and Mudo attacks. So I made White Hand for AoE, hammer and Mudo attacks, Midas and Loki for electric and ice attacks. You will find Mansamet, who apparently is here to gather manpower to create an army in order to go on war with devils. Once Serene hears Mansamet's voice, she came running to him to see him. She looks happy and so does Mansamet. Are they in love or something? Serene then opens up to Mansamet and says she don't like how things have been going on Respite, and she thinks her crewmate mind has been influenced by devil, so she wants to do something about that. Masamat says there is nothing wrong with the crewmate for now, but tells her to seek him again when things go wrong. After that, Masamat goes back to the hidden room where his brethren are being gathered for army. Then Asa will tell Hidonari to come back to the ship. It appears there has been shootings happening within Lightning ships between Raspberry crew member and Lightning crew members. Even though they have taken away their weapons, Lightning now use Devil to revolt back against Raspberry. Ryan then contacts the ship and curses at them while he keeps insulting. He killed all the observers from Raspberry on their ship and will now come towards Raspberry and kill them too. This guy is supposed to be spared back there. I knew they were up to no good, especially the Ryan guy. Which, to be frank, is all on Zerani. If she hadn't stopped Jimenez from killing Ryan right there, all of this bloodshed wouldn't have happened. I'm not sure if Zerani realized that or not, because Zerani stops Jimenez and the rest of the crew who are ready to go on all-out war with Lightning once again. She stops them by telling everyone that she has a plan to resolve this without fighting, and that is to go meet with Masamat. Asa approves Zerani of her plan, then she asks Hidonari if he could escort her to Masamat, so off we go to see him again. Masamat is ecstatic to see Zerani again. Of course he is. Then he explains angels have special power that can lead people to righteous paths by singing. But he does not have such power, and all he can do is turn humans into angels who can in turn use the singing and lead the people to righteous paths, which is just another way of saying angels have power to brainwash people. Serene thought it is a good idea and volunteered herself to become an angel. I really thought Masamat was going to swallow Serene and vomit back out like before, but thank God he didn't. Now Serene too, like Jimenez, becomes a being that surpasses human, a fully fledged angel. He then goes to Lightning, and there Serene sings and everyone from within comes out, worshipping Serene. And now all of the Lightning crew members only listen to what Serene says. These guys are brainwashed completely. After that, Serene orders Ryan to release all devils they have been doing experiments on. Then one of the devils says they are going to meet with their mother Maya, who created the Mirage War, aka Sector Gurus. Jimenez went along with them to find out more about Maya, and Serene went back to Masamat to report. Now Hidonari has to go back to the ship by himself and report on his own. I'm still unclear of what stand I should choose. The time to make a big decision is probably just around the corner by now. But I'm sure I'm not going to choose Laurel because from looking at what the game has told me so far, I'm pretty sure angels are just going to brainwash the entire world and force people to worship them. Chaos route is also a thing, but I need more time to let things sink in a little more until its motive become clearer to me. Also, I am keeping neutral route as another option if neutral route let me remain as a human, because the last thing I want to turn into is either a devil or an angel. I start to feel sorry for Asa too, as it starts losing its authority over a ship's crew member as time goes on. Asa can no longer order Jimenez and Serene anymore, as those two are just doing whatever they want on their own after they have transformed. Even listening to Asa giving out missions like it used to doesn't hit the same anymore. Most crew members are now siding with Jimenez or Serene's ideology, while there are only a few who aren't affected by any of them. I feel like I'm the only one listening to Asa and carry out missions at this point. But Jimenez will return back to the ship for a while and give Hidonari a Foruma, which is necessary to enter more hidden rooms, which will enable Hidonari to go meet with the devil leader from before inside a newly unlocked hidden room. Then it will ask you to kill those Lightning crew members that tortured them if you want to proceed further inside. Hidonari is unsure of what to do, so he goes back to the ship and discusses with the crew member. If you arrive at the ship, Asa orders everyone together and discuss the matter to decide what to do next. But everyone has their own biased opinions, so everyone decides to let Hidonari make the call. You can kill humans as the devil told you, which will turn your stance to chaos, or ask Serene for help and brainwash the devil, which will turn your stance to law. I don't want to choose any of those choices, but luckily there is another option left. You can just straight up brute force your way through the devil and open that gate. After you pass through the gate, the dimension will become distorted, and there you will meet with Goa, talking about how their mission has failed, and so to clean their dishonor, Goa orders everyone to aim their guns to another and shoot each other. instead of getting killed off by devils. But Asa interrupts and tells you this is all an illusion, to which Hidonari was able to break through the illusion before he shoots himself. Then Goa appears in front of him and explains how four mothers, Uroboros, Tiamat, Maya, and Memu Aref, create puppets for themselves, and Goa just so happens to become one for Uroboros. So when Uroboros was defeated, Goa gets free from the control and becomes a mindless hex, wandering around Shibarubas. But he got brought back to sense by Hidonari, awakening a real Goa's consciousness inside him along with breaking illusion. Goa now have a change of heart and wants to help humanity by using all the knowledge he gained from his mothers. He believes humanity will not end here and will persevere. Then Goa promised Hidonari that he will come back to Respite after he had done the preparation. Maya is weak to gun attacks and you can use any elemental attacks on her. She can use every attack, so try to make devils that have many resistance as much as you can. I have a protagonist equipped with the strongest gun that I can make, and for devils, I have Guru Snake and Asheret for dishing out strong gun attacks, and Diana as a healer. After all the buffings and debuffings, I changed Diana with armor and go full offense on Maya. She has skills that can clear buff and debuff, but that's about it. Maya is strictly a damage dealer and not a tricky boss to fight with. Back at the ship, just when Asa was about to congratulate you for defeating Maya, it got intercepted by 3 old men. They show the vision of what will happen if you choose the low route. The world will become completely devoid of sins and evil, and everyone will be united under angels and live by a strict rule conducted by them. If one were to sin, the sinner will be punished by means of execution. Then 3 old men got intercepted once again by Louis Cypher, showing another vision of what will happen if you choose Chaos route. The world will return back to Stone Age, where strong only survives, while weak ones becomes food. It is a war full of freedom as well as a war full of blood and carnage. She will disappear after showing the vision, leaving everyone inside the room with hanging jaws. Then Zelene will come and meet with you before she joins the angel army, and so will Jimenez, as he will be going solo from now on. Both of them left the ship to make their preferred vision come true. Even a good chunk of crew members on the ship decides to follow one of the two as they left. Now that Law and Chaos route has opened up completely, that only leaves the neutral route. I am hoping it will at least be decent, because the vision once again changed my mind of not choosing Law and Chaos route, and that means I am putting all my hope on Goa now. With the remaining crew members, they will proceed to skip drive into the next and final sector, codename H, Pororo June, where Memu RF resides. Asa orders another mission to go and get the next exotic item, but no one seems to be willing to do it anymore. Still, Asa tries to convince this mission is really going to be the last one, but everyone thinks it is going to have 50-50 possibility if Asa says it. While Asa was trying to convince them, it got completely intercepted by Goa, who tells everyone to come outside of the ship as he has to tell them something of importance. The timing couldn't have been more great than this, Goa. I am ready to hear what you have to say. Goa is waiting for you at the 9th floor. Elevator will take you there directly, so use that, and Goa will take you into what seems like a room where Memu Aref is sleeping. Apparently, she is so strong that Hidonari can't even see her or make shade of what she looks like. Goa then asks you to take into the ship, and everyone rejoices to see their captain back. Here is where the ending branches off on its own according to the answer you give to Goa. But if you are currently lost stance, Chaos route will be disabled and vice versa. But neutral route is always available to you no matter your stance. So for this game, I chose to say humanity, but if you didn't choose it, you will have to fight with Goa here. His plan is to destroy Shibarubas from inside by using the energy it has been storing to destroy the surface, called Space Egg. Goa plans to nuke those energy by using the nuclear bomb stored inside gigantic ship. Many gaps at the reveal. It appears the people from the headquarters really have no intention of letting them live after all. But for now, everyone needs to work together and prioritize the mission in order to destroy Shibarubas. Goa transfers all the knowledge to Asa as a data, as he can't live any longer in this body. He then says goodbye to everyone as he returns back to Eternal slumber. You will now be able to unlock even more doors which will be necessary to search for SpaceX in Antolia, Buddhist, Karina, and Deru finest. Okay, but what have we been missing this entire time? Right, it's about Alex. Turns out both Alex and Griffin Wong is relevant to the plot, as completing that dungeon unlock new endings that is added to this game version. And if you keep playing like usual, you will get old endings, so I thought, why get old endings when I can get new? So I cracked my nuggets and decided to complete Griffin Wong. And boy, was it a torture. For the first floor, you get a simple conveyor belt level. Second floor gives you even more conveyor belts for you to enjoy. If the game was a top-down perspective, it would have been a breeze to get by, but first-person perspective, not a fan of it. Starting from second floor, you will have to face a boss on every floor in order to proceed to the next one. Anahito is the first one. She is weak to fire, but I am over level for this floor, so I just beat her up with physical attacks. She will drop a piece of Minori, which Demetri will tell you to gather other 5 Minoris. So that's what you will be doing while you are in this dungeon. And then you reach third floor, and it's a floor full of damaging ties, sleep, poison, and pitfalls. And then there is one pitfall that you need to fall into in order to get to the boss room. On this floor, you will see Alex fighting with Devil, so Demetri will appear and help you turn invisible, worrying you might turn into Mii-chans again if she sees you. After that, make your way to the boss room and fight Ishtar. She is weak to electric and still no match for me, so it was an easy fight. The fourth floor is a bit of an odd one out of all 6 floors of this dungeon. Here, you will have to go through hidden rooms to get to the boss room while avoiding Alex. She will be shown as enemy icon on the map if you are near her. You can fight her if you want, but she won't give you anything, so avoiding her is the best option here. Even then, when you get to the boss room, you see Alex after she had defeated the boss of this floor. She attacks you on the first sight of seeing you, but she is in weakened state now, so all you have to do is deplete her health to half by using electric attacks, which is her weakness. After the fight, she will flee and you won't get Minori from this floor. Demetri says she will follow her around and find a chance to steal from her, so off she goes to follow Alex. The fifth floor is anxiety-inducing level. You get to walk on invisible floors combined with teleporters to get through this floor. Here you will see Alex having a moment looking at a hologram of what looks like her mom, who also looks a lot like Louis Cypher. Other than that, there is the boss Fortunus who is weak to guns, which was easy as I already have a strong gun team that just beat down Maya from earlier. You will also have to fight Alex right after you defeat Fortunus, so be prepared for 2 consecutive boss fights. Alex got mad when she got defeated even in her best condition, but Joji forces her to back off and so she had to. The 6th floor is a teleporter maze. This one is interesting. You can go to any teleporters you want. You have to go in order from move flower, 1 flower, 2 flower, 3 flower, 4 flower, 5 flower, and 6 flower. Teleporter with no flower on it can be entered anytime and it will reset the order from 0. You will meet Alex while she is sleeping like a baby, but before you get any weird ideas, Joji will request you to let her rest, so Hitonari just leaves quietly, and Joji will thank you for that. The boss on this floor is Zeus, and you also see Alex defeated by Zeus, and Joji also has gone offline, so you have to help her. Zeus is weak to wind, but I use my buffed up physical team to defeat him while occasionally blowing some air from my gun to add some more damage to Devil core. After the fight, Joji will be back online, but she won't thank you one bit and left. She also dropped a hologram ring, so Hitonari kept it with him for now. The 7th and final floor. Now, to get through this floor, you will have to go back and forth from 7th floor and 6th floor through dark rooms to get a Foruma to make a main ability called Floor Surge, and go back to the ship to make the ability. Yeah, you have to return back to the ship and go all the way back to the 7th floor, and through those mind-numbing and exhausting mazes again. Now with new ability, you can finally see invisible floors, But that is not what makes this floor difficult to navigate. It is the hidden room that you need to switch between. You have to use 2 hidden rooms simultaneously in order to open doors so that after you exit the hidden room, you can use those doors to get back into the boss room. Alice will appear in front of the boss room and reveal that she is from the future world that I created. By the looks of it, I don't think the result turns out to be good, as she has been trying to kill me the whole time. But she is now chill and tell you that she will meet again after I have made the decision. Now it is time for the final boss of this dungeon, Maria. She is weak to ice and is resistant to physical attacks. She uses all kinds of magic attacks and can change everyone weak to hammer attacks. If she uses that attack, have protagonists use Dagger Stone 2 times in a row in order to prevent any insta-kill from happening. She also has a healing spell that can clear buff and debuff and can heal exactly 623 HP. Now there is something you can do with it. Equip the protagonist with a gun that can lower attack by 1 level. She will only use the healing spell if any of her status go lower by 2, so you at least get 2 turns to inflict damage, which your total 2 turns attacking should exceed her 623 heal threshold. Well, of course, that is only if you have a full team that can use ice attacks and can dish out devil co-ops every turn. Keep chipping away at her health while paying attention to your protagonist and her hammer attacks. After you defeat her, Demetri will appear and congratulates you for getting all Minori except one. She says she will follow Alice around for the final Minori and left. But apparently you can still go farther into the dungeon, so when I try to go farther, you will find Demetri standing guard in front of the door as she says something very terrifying lives within there. And you're supposed to be following Alice by now, Demetri. It genuinely feels very nice and refreshing to be back on the ship. I have finally completed Griffin Womb and I am proud of my achievement. That's fulfilled one of the requirements to get the new ending and now back to the main mission. You will have to fight 3 weak devils, Satan Taisei, Shokuin, and Kerab to get to the SpaceX from Antoria, Karina, and Derufinus. And in Buddhist, you will have to fight with Serene. She is weak to wind, but she can still be damaged quite heavily from physical attacks too. She will start using almighty attacks that will buff her once you deplete her health to half, so don't forget to debuff her if you get hit by one. After the fight, Serene will lose her sight and falls to the ground. She still wants to get the SpaceX for her god, as they want to use the power of SpaceX to rule the world. Then Mesama will quickly come to check on Serene, and once he confirms Serene is dead, he quickly flies away. He did not even mourn or try to avenge her, as he says they live longer than humans, so he will just wait for Hidonari to die of his old age. In the end, Serene got used by Mesama as a tool so that he brings no danger to himself while also trying to achieve his goals on the other hand. Still, it is sad to see that her death was so anticlimactic. Even then, she still mourns and believes in her god until the very last moment as she dies being an angel and not as a human. Now with 4 SpaceX and the bomb, you will now be able to go back to Hororo June. Go down as far as 5th floor and there Jimenez will be waiting for you. I tried to fight him as I thought it would be easy like the previous fights, but the way he wipes out my team so quick and easy gets me worried for the endgame boss fight ahead. See, I was playing fast going from sector to the next without any grinding for items and doing extra missions except for the important one up until this point. I have also been slacking off with making suits, but now I had to make a suit specific for the fight with Jimenez or else I won't ever win this guy. Okay, so Jimenez's weakness will rotate between gun, electric and wing attacks. Try hitting him with each attack once to make the question mark icon change to exclamation mark icon so that you will know what weakness he rotates to. Jimenez can also change all of your team to bomb status, so equip your protagonist with a ring that can resist bomb status, and try using Braveheart every time you can. Your protagonist becomes a support completely by the time you reach endgame, so try to keep your protagonist alive at all times no matter what. Almighty attacks from bosses are bearable, as they are the easiest attacks to recover from. No one will really die from one hit, even your protagonist. Other than that, keep your buff and debuff gain in check as always, stack those devil co-ops and Jimenez will go down. Jimenez won't have much to say other than acknowledging you that you have become stronger and dies. Now it is finally time for the final boss fight. I had to carefully prepare for this fight, backtracking to do extra missions and making suits and rings, all that kind of stuff. Memu Aref has two phases. First phase has no weakness. It only repairs gun, hammer and mudo, so you can attack her with whatever you want. She uses all attacks except from gun attacks, and the only attacks you need to be careful is her hammer and mudo attacks. You need to make sure that suit and all defense repair at least those two. For my team, I have Koryu that resists all elementals including hammer and mudo. This dragon did a lot of heavy lifting for the boss fight for me. For my next devil, I intend to make Trumpeter, but I couldn't fuse with any devils I have at all, so I just resort to P-Rider in the end. And I had it equipped with passive that reflect every elemental as it already repair hammer and mudo by default. Now to have other devils that resist all elementals like Koryu, you have to do Midama fusing. I have never tried that before in Megaten games just because I thought it would be a complex thing to learn. But once I sat down and actually tried to understand it, it isn't as complex as it sounds. Basically, you need to have two setters to make Midama. Every time you fuse devil in this game, you have a choice to use devil source or not. So choose any devil source you want, but inherit only one skill, so that when you fuse Midama with another devil, that one skill will be transferred. Now your devil can be strengthened with Midama until all parameter reaches +6. It is enough for you to keep Midama fusing until you get a devil with a skill set you want. But there is actually another cost-efficient way of doing it, and it is by using the devil source. If you have devil squeezer, you get a devil source from your devil again for a small chance whenever they level up. Otherwise, it is impossible to get another one from the same devil that you have already obtained a devil source from. Now fuse it with a low level devil, say for example Pixie, and fuse it again with two Midamas, each of which have inherited one skill. Now that your Pixie have two skills you want, get the source. Since low level devils are easy to level up, Devil Squeezer will always work and will give you another source again even if it had already been squeezed once. Normally Devil Source will have their own set of skills and also have one bonus skill, but if you have a set ability Devil Flavor, you can make a source with two bonus skills intact. This way you can easily gain access to any two skills you want at any time. Just be sure to override your devil after you inherit those two skills, or else this entire thing will become pointless. I had to do a little hide and seek extra mission to unlock Amaterasu and equip her with passive to reflect every elementals, as she also repair hammer and mudo by default. So I had P-Rider with Samarika and Amaterasu with randomizer for all stat debuff, Rasta Candy for all stat buff, and Measurizer for all purpose healing. Main damage will come from Koryu with fire and almighty attacks. You will trigger the boss healing skill that heals 600 damage once you buff +2 or debuff -2. So I had Amaterasu use Rasta Candy and randomizer only once, and that will buff and debuff all stat by 1. I had to run with it for the rest of the fight, because Memu RF healing 600 damage is the last thing I want, when the damage I was doing to her was 200 to 300 per turn. And also, I had to really rely on reflect damage coming from P-Rider and Amaterasu combined for me to put out sizable damage to her. Luckily, she will use elemental attacks quite frequently, so it helps a lot. Although my 3 devils are doing okay, the protagonist keeps dying in one hit from every elemental attacks if he is not guarding, which is unfortunately unavoidable, so it can be helped. Use command skill whenever you can and use items as appropriate. Keep chipping away at the boss and the first phase will end. The second phase starts immediately after that, and the boss fight goes the same as before, but this time she will have weakness that rotates between physical, gun, fire, ice, electric, and wind. I was lacking in variety with my devil, so I had to make do with what I had with fire attack from Koryu and wind attack from P-Rider. It is also another slow fight with every damage output of 200 per turn, so I again had to rely on reflect damage from P-Rider and Amaterasu. The second phase Memu RF starts to use the skill that turns everyone to max status 2, but it keeps missing, so I would say I was very lucky. She also comes with 2 new attacks. First one is Ma. I'm not sure what it does, but it one-shot my protagonist once, so I'm guessing it is a guaranteed insta-kill attack. And another one is Memu equal RF, which returns every devils with the same stance back to Demonica. In preparation for that attack, I have prepared Chaos Koryu, Neutral Pay Rider and Law Amaterasu, so that even if she uses it, only one devil will return back to Demonica. It is going to be a long fight, so keeping your protagonist alive at all times is a must. After Memu RF is defeated, she will drop the exotic item, and that will propel everyone back to the surface when it is used. Now all that left is to blow a Shibaru bus from inside and escape. On your way back to the ship, you will meet with Alex and Joji. Alex agrees to let Joji explain everything to Hidonari, as he has spared her life and also saved her life. Joji says he has a good news and bad news about the future. The good news is, the future is actually saved by them after they have destroyed Shibaru bus, and humans live in peace for quite some time. But that is where the bad news comes in. People then start to repeat the cycle of killing, stealing and destroying all over again and brings back Shibaru bus once more. But this time people no longer have the strong way to fight back the devils, so the next Shibaru bus will lead humanity to a brink of extinction in a week, and that's the future where Alex and Joji came from. Here is where old and new endings are decided. If you had defeated Maria on 6th floor in Griffin Room before you defeat Mebu Arif, you will get a new ending where you get to help Alex. Otherwise, you will get old endings where you have to fight Alex. They are planning to retrieve the remaining Minori's, which actually are a fragment of SpaceX itself, and use the Minori SpaceX, which has special ability to be used multiple times to destroy Shibaru bus. Not the big one like the current, but the small one which will appear after they destroy this big Shibaru bus. Their plan is to keep destroying small Shibaru bus as soon as they appear in the future by using Minori SpaceX. But someone has to remain inside Shibaru bus in order to keep doing that forever. Let me guess. Is it going to be me who is going to be an ultimate sacrifice for humanity in the end? Then Alex will entrust a Minori fragment and Hidonari will give the hologram ring back to her. But she says to keep it as a lucky charm from him. Then her body will start emitting light. As Joji explained, the future is about to be changed where they do not exist, so they are going to disappear in a moment. Alex asks Hidonari to promise her to save the future, and so he did. Then Joji and Alex say farewell to each other and fades away. As if Hidonari has been on watch the whole time, Demetri appears and calls you a shameless thief for even trying to think of stealing the remaining Minori's fragments from her, which she has been gathering. Or rather, I was the one who was gathering for her, thinking she needs help and repaying her for saving my life. But no, she needs Minori fragments to make a SpaceX and give it to the 3 old men. Demetri will then take the Minori Alex gave you and runs away. As soon as Demetri runs away, Lucifer will appear and offer you her help with opening the way that will lead me to 10 heavens, which exists at the lower level Griffin Womb. There is only one more boss standing in my way to get the new neutral ending. 10 heavens has upper and lower floor, and you need to go through a teleporter maze, and there is a gimmick to teleporters again. You need to navigate the teleporters by looking at the number of phases you find on the wall. And every time you enter the teleport with phases, the next teleport that has one more phase will stop functioning. Meaning, if you enter teleport with 0 phases, the teleport with 1 phase will stop functioning. Focus on opening paths this way rather than going to places using teleport. Once you get to the lower floor, you will meet with the final boss. It is those 3 old men, and they consider you as a threat, and they turn into god spirit called Shekinah. I already got the basics down with how to deal with impossible bosses like Memu RF previously, so I am very chill with this boss. Shekinah will have many forms she will choose between, and with that, her weakness will also rotate. You also have various elemental weakness you can hit, but I chose to go with gun attack with this boss. Only because I can get Isono Marten, a single target colossal gun attack that have the most damage output of all attacks in the entire game. And it helps because Shekinah has one form that has gun weakness, and I am aiming for it. So for devils, I have Metatron with Isono Marten and Randomizer mixed with Negate, Resist and Reflect. I left the physical open because this boss physical attacks don't mean a thing to me. They have the worst damage output of all attacks. But I can't say the same for Shekinah's gun attack. It hits so hard and for multiple times that you definitely need to reflect or negate to survive that attack. Also, Shekinah can use wind attack and can inflict charm on everyone it hits, so definitely get wind reflect for defense and let the protagonist wear a charm negate ring. Next, I have Vishnu with Meserizer and Rasta Candy and fully equipped with reflex, so there is nothing that can touch my healer. And Leslie Susano with Isono Madan and Samadhi Khan, also equipped with full reflex. It is better to separate the buff and debuff spell casting so that it saves time. Shakina has normal form and other 6 forms she can choose to change whenever she wants in any order. The first form can be hit by anything and is able to use all kinds of elemental attacks. You also can switch through the buff and debuff between you two if you +4 buff or -4 debuff, so keep everything at +3. That said, the main attack you need to prepare for is our Torah attacks, which will reflect any attacks from any stance she chooses for 8 turns. I prepare for the attack by making a team of 2-1-1 formation, 2 neutral, 1 chaos, and 1 law. Shakina is more likely to target the stance with more count, and that helps because aside from my neutral protagonist, the only other neutral is Vishnu, a healer, which makes her entire reflecting attacks totally pointless. She can also use all these attacks even in another form, but the only difference is her 6th form will have different affinities and new attacks. First form is weak to fire, and you need to be careful of her Gokudo's attack, which will empower her ice attack and make your fire attacks useless for 3 turns. If you are going to aim for elemental weakness or Shakina, I recommend leaving out fire attacks to save slots. Second form is weak to electric, and you need to be careful of our wind attacks that can inflict charm and our soul steel attack that can insta-kill charm enemies. Anything that can lower the probability of getting inflicted by charm will do. Third form is weak to ice, and she shoots fires that lowers your defense, so it is not much of a threat by any capacity. Other than that, she can reflect gun attacks and all the attacks I have are gun attacks, which sucks for me because I need to wait out until she changes to the next form. Fourth form is weak to gun, and this is my favorite time to strike. I can damage Shakina up to 2000 damage per turn in this form. She uses physical attacks that will inflict fear after 3 turns, so prepare to use Braveheart with correct timing. Fifth form is weak to wind and will use almighty attacks that can see magic and soul canoes that will clear all your buff and lock you in a position of not being able to buff or debuff for 4 turns. I can barely do any damage to her or her to me, so I had to wait out this form to change too. And finally, 6th form is weak to ice again and will use an attack that will pull hammer weakness on all of your team. I died to her 1 time because of the attack combined with insta-K hammer attack, as I don't have stones that can negate insta-K attacks anymore. But then I noticed magic reflex stones can also negate insta-K attacks, so that saved me from trouble of getting through her 6th form. If you manage to bring her down to low health, Shakina will call Demetri and will ask her to offer all of her harvest in order to heal herself. Demetri was reluctant at first, but she has to give in the end and lost her life in the process, a fitting end to a little thief who betrayed me before. So Shakina technically have 2-phase boss fight because of that, and only in the 2nd phase she starts using that Torah attack that I mentioned before. Surprisingly enough, my protagonist didn't die a single time throughout the entire boss fight, even though I equipped him with a suit that has no resist nor negate, but pure raw numbers in defense, and he was able to tank out all those elemental attacks coming from Shakina. After you defeat Shakina, Luis Heva will appear before Hidonari the final time and say he will become a being that surpasses any logic. Then you will return to the ship and everyone rejoices that you finally beat the final boss and that they can return to the surface now. And then Asa will explain how Shibaruba's destruction plan really is going to work. Asa is going to stay behind Shibarubas as a bone trigger, as the information he has with Shibarubas will provide humans with knowledge and technology that could potentially bring disaster that is even worse than Shibarubas. Asa will then ask Hidonari's assistant with a mission to stay in Shibarubas to keep destroying every time it appears in the future. So in the end, our protagonist and Asa becomes a great sacrifice for humanity who are protecting from shadows. I was not expecting Asa to stay with me in Shibarubas, but I'm glad it did. Thank you, Asa. I enjoy this game. The battles are very fast and my favorite is you can just press a button and the menu will speed through everything. Plus there is also an auto battle. The game places a lot of emphasis on your ability to adapt to situations, so it makes you feel like you are on edge most of the time. So much so that I feel that big wave of anxiety every time I fight bosses for the first time. Also, I find devil negotiation kinda useless in this game, as there are sub-abilities which will make devils straight up enter your team after the battle ends, making it very easy to get devils. So instead, you have to grind and sell items which are your source of primary income, and market is as important as ever because you will be fusing devils a lot. Good thing devil negotiation takes a step back. Character wise, it did what it's supposed to do and everything was decent. Serenity and Jimenez are there, but I had to give it to Asa for being the best character in the entire game, followed by Alex and Joji pair. They managed to make me empathize with them during the short screen time they are given, so I say it was very impressive. Alex is the best game. Story is linear and well paced, and the setting hits the vibe, two of which I want from Mega Ten games, so story and setting gets many points in my book. Gameplay is as addictive as usual, which becomes something I expect to see in every Mega Ten games now. I don't know man, they just know how to make a good all-rounded game mechanics with addicting gameplay loop. You are given all the tools you need which you can make use of to the point where you broke the game or the game broke you. It is always either one of them. So I say Strange Journey Redux is a fair game. If you are in for a challenging game, I recommend Strange Journey. Now that only leaves the music department. I wasn't expecting for the game to end with this sound. It feels like it completely wraps everything I have experienced and packages it neatly and give it to me, so that I could remember the time I spent with the game and its character again whenever I hear the sound. Music can be a powerful tool sometimes. I bet anyone who plays SMT games can remember tons of music by heart just from grinding hours on end. I do listen to them until I am 60 plus hours into the game. I had to turn off the sound once I get past that point, as it becomes very unbearable, so I just start singing on my own for a change. If not for this sound, I would have said the music in this game was decent at best, but this ending sound changed it all. Seeing all the old familiar faces and their smiles again for one last time gives sad and happy closure to the game at the same time. These songs were emotional. Every character in the game had their own belief and they all follow it until their final moments. Like I chose to follow my own belief with the neutral rock. The good and the bad is as vague as ever and I don't have any idea how to discern either of them. There is only cause and effect. Karma as I will call it. It was a matter of difference in ideologies and I just happened to be the one to come out on top to deliver those karma on them. That's about everything I want to say about the game. So I am ending the video here. Thanks for listening or watching the video till the end, but I'm going to sleep now. So I hope to see you all again in the next video, and good night.
シュバルツバースの出現を確認しました。前回の作戦から150年の月日が経過しましたが、まだあなたを保っていますか？ではシュバルツバースの破壊、これをミッションとして発令します。あなたの良い報告を期待します。